Hello and welcome to my lecture, Writing, Enhancing, Expanding, Editing, and Saving Prompts. How to create book cover prompts. We're finally going to go over and we're going to take a nice slow look at the process of creating a prompt to generate a book cover. Let's jump over to Aritstly and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here I am in my browser and I'm going to go to App Aritstly AI. Now you actually get through these menus pretty quickly once you have the hang of it. We're going to go to the Advanced AI editor. We're going to create a new cover and we're going to call it a new book cover. And I'm going to make it 1500 by 2400 pixels. There we go. And we've created our little project here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my prompt in AI Designer. Let's make this size, a mobile device size on the output. And what I want is, once again, my favorite prompt, create an 8-inch by 5-inch book cover for a science fiction space opera novel named Collision Course by Brian Jackson. And that's all you really need. It's going to see the words science fiction and space opera novel, and it's going to know that it needs something spacey. Now, you can give it some additional information if you want, like include rocket ships and men in space suits on the cover. Now that's actually quite generous. We've given Aritstly a great deal of information to work with, actually. Rocket ships, men in spacesuits, space opera, science fiction, collision course, all of this information it's going to interpret when we come up here to Magic Prompt. So we click on Magic Prompt to enhance our prompt. It will use AI to look at our prompt and try and figure out all the things that are missing that would be nice to add. And it will extend our prompt. Now let's say we want to review this prompt, but the easy way to review and edit a prompt is to come in to edit prompt with AI instead of actually manually editing it down here. So we come through and reread this whole thing. Showcases spaceships, urgency, danger, heroic, grays and blues, smoke trails blazing behind them and the rocket ships and so on, treacherous asteroid field. Now, what if we suddenly decide we've got this book cover set in space? What if we suddenly decide change the theme of the book cover to rocket ships and spacemen in an old western town? Let's make it old time. Western town. And we go enhance. Now what it's going to do is it's going to look at all of the occurrences of everything it said about being in space, and it's going to try and set an Old West theme. Now once again, I don't like editing in this little pane here. It's very small, but you can actually go in here and change things in this pane. I'm going to come here to edit prompt again and see what kind of changes I made. But with a twist, the setting is now a dusty old-time western town instead of space. It has worn earth tones. Dynamic rocket ships should be depicted, wrapped in steel, with spacemen shown in pose, navigating through a treacherous canyon. The title collision course should be implemented. Overall design should be eye-catching and so on. So it's changed my theme from outer space to a Western theme. Now, if I want some other change, let's say I want to change the title, Collision Course. It occurs 3 times in here while it's talking about it. So I could change it in 3 times in the editor, or I could say, change the title of this book from Collision Course to Deep Space Western. And I say, go enhance. So this is the way that you set up prompts. You interact with them, you read them, and get a good idea of what they're saying. Now let's look at what we got. The deep space Western. So it's replaced all occurrences of collision course, the 3 occurrences, with deep space Western. Now let's say I like this prompt. Now the final thing that I would do is I would generate an image, and then the interaction begins again because I may not like the image. I may, after seeing the image, want to come back here and go into edit prompt again and make some modifications. It's all an iterative process. Now, the final thing that I like to do, since Aritstly throws away your prompts quite often, is that I like to save them. Just by going to the prompt area here, triple clicking, that'll select the entire prompt, then right-clicking on it and saying copy. There we go. And I come over to an editor. I like to use Word. And I edit my prompt library, which we're going to talk about later, how and why to create a prompt library. So these are my favorite prompts here. So I come here to the end of the prompt, and I say, paste. And here's the new prompt. So I'm collecting up prompts, and I get these little snippets of prompts, and I build parts of prompts. I get my favorite opening prompts. I'm going to try and give you a prompt library in the resources to this course so that you'll have access to all of the prompts used in this course, the ones that are interesting. Now, the ones that are specific to your book cover, like put on a cowboy hat, something like that, I'm not going to give you those prompts. But this is the way to edit and put together prompts.